The latest film version of F. Scott Fitzgerald's jazz age classic, The Great Gatsby, is now playing in theaters across the country. It stars Leonardo Dicaprio as Gatsby, with Tobey Maguire as his friend Nick Carraway.
I've gotten all these things for her. I've gotten all these things for her. Now she just wants to run away. She wants to leave that.
Jay, you can't repeat the past.
Can't repeat the past.
No.
Why, of course you can. Of course you can.
Hollywood is always trying to spin novels into box office gold. So what are the best and worst literary adaptations of the past 50 years? Let's ask Matt Singer, film critic for IndieWire.com. Matt, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, old sports. Good morning. I'm in a Gatsby mood.
Great chum. So glad to have you here.
Oh, it's good to be here, old sports.
So to start off with, what did you think of the film?
Well, I liked parts of it, other parts of it not so much. I think the director, Baz Luhrmann, I think he kind of liked parts of Gatsby too. He really related, I think, to the character of Jay Gatsby, this guy who puts on a show, who puts on these big lavish parties. You know, he's known for making big lavish movies like Moulin Rouge, and I think he really related to that aspect. The story, the characters, I think, were a little less successful, although Leonardo DiCaprio is very good and very handsome in the movie. Almost unfairly handsome, I would say.
You said he was the real standout in this movie, and he's going to be a big surprise to people who see it.
Well, he's great. He's really good in the movie. I mean, that's something that this movie has that the book does not have, which is Leonardo DiCaprio. And again, he is incredibly handsome.
To give Robert Redford a run for his money?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. He does a great job. I mean, he's the absolute highlight of the cast, for sure.
So let's look at some of your favorite adaptations.
Okay.
Number one.
Number one for me, I mean, I'm going to go with Jaws. You know, it's a classic, right? You know, the book Jaws.
The Peter Benchley book, yeah.
Yes, page 1, chapter 1 is about the shark and how it looks and how it moves. Steven Spielberg knew that's not going to work in a movie, especially when the mechanical shark that's playing Jaws is kind of misbehaving almost as badly as the character in the story. So keep the shark out of the picture as long as possible and kind of stoke our imagination the way a great book does. Make us imagine the shark and put us in with the characters on the boat and let us feel the terror of that.
Your second pick, you said, was The Shining.
The Shining, one of the all-time most beloved horror movies, except by the guy who wrote the book that it's based on, Stephen King. He is not a fan of the movie because he felt it wasn't faithful. You know, he feels like it doesn't represent his version of The Shining. But to me, if you make a great movie, you've made a great adaptation. And that's what The Shining is. You know, it's not the book on screen. It takes the book and it filters it through Stanley Kubrick's perspective, and that's why we love it. That and Jack Nicholson.
Movies that are so literally the book often don't feel like movies. That's the problem. Number three is Fight Club.
Fight Club is a great example of Hollywood actually taking some interesting, edgy material about these underground fight clubs with a lot of political commentary and actually keeping it edgy and interesting. And you know, again, this is something that movies can do, is great performances. Brad Pitt in this movie is unbelievably magnetic. That's something you're not going to get from a book. It's a great starring performance.
Now let's take a look at the movies you liked the least.
Yes.
Your least favorite literary adaptation was Cat in the Hat?
Cat in the Hat. Well, you know, maybe not the best idea to take a picture book and pull it to feature length. Definitely not a good idea to do it by making jokes about, like, Taiwanese parliamentary filibusters and throwing in cameos from Paris Hilton, you know, because when you think of Cat in the Hat, I know the person you want to see in that movie is Paris Hilton, and of course Mike Myers in that wonderful makeup, so enchanting and delightful.
Right. Number two, a film I never saw, The Scarlet Letter with Demi Moore.
You were lucky not to see it, you know, just classic dumb Hollywood thinking, right? We'll take a masterpiece, this very serious classic novel, but Puritanism, it's so boring. I know, let's add a bunch of sex scenes. Let's cast Demi Moore and just make it all about sex, and that ending's kind of a bummer. I know. Let's give it a happy ending. You know, if I just showed you the movie and then I told you, go find the book in the bookstore, you would go right to the romance section and look for something with Fabio on the cover.
And very quickly, we only have a few seconds, but Bonfire of the Vanities, your third least favorite.
It's another example. It's like the opposite of Fight Club. You take edgy material and then you dull it out. And when you get rid of all the interesting things in the book, what you're left with is a very unfunny, kind of bland, boring comedy.
One of the great disappointments of all time. Matt Singer, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thanks, guys.